G'day, Steelers Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who came to the live today talking about Russell Wilson and also Aaron Rodgers. But I do want to talk about this contract that Wilson signed and also Justin Fields signed with the New York Jets. And now it looks like there's going to be a picture-perfect match happening in the background with Wilson and Fields and Rodgers hugging their Mike Tomlin. Could be a possibility that all signs are pointing to signing Aaron Rodgers. But to discuss this, I want to bring in my good mates from the Steelers Dynasty podcast, Shane and Bubba. How's it going to you both? How are you?
I don't know. Are we as good as Russell is or Mike Tomlin? You tell me.
Well, there's a lot to this picture. Even though the context back then, we had two quarterbacks, Wilson and Fields. But this picture is worth 1,000 words right now. That Fields was on the out and Russell Wilson was the out, and now it looks like that Aaron Rodgers will be the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback in the near future. So a big shout out to you guys. You guys do a show tomorrow. I'll put all the links in the description in this video. We just did the show as well.
$45 million.
Which one?
The picture you just showed, $45 million probably, with probably 20 guaranteed.
Yeah, so it looks like he's signing. So you guys doing a show tomorrow as well, talking about this stuff on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. But I wanted to bring you back on because I think there's still a bit more we need to cover. I don't know. I just feel like this Russell Wilson thing to me, like honest to goodness, there's Wilson, Fields. We talked about it in the show previously, but is that where it's going to happen? Shano, is the next step actually signing Rodgers in this hug or photo? It's going to happen, right?
Pull the picture up because I want to talk about what I see here. Look at Russell Wilson's eyes. It's almost as if he's like walking in on something. It just seems awkward. Fields looks like he's just apathetic, doesn't care.
Like he's checked out.
The eyes of Tomlin just looking off like he's saying something meaningful. Not like, hey, great game, but like, hey, I'm gonna hit you up in your DMs later. You know what I mean? That's what I'm seeing.
But that's what's kind of a little bit funny. We don't know exactly what was said. Obviously, that was after the game, so maybe there was no contract talks there. But the reality is, situation how it broke down now is Fields was replaced by QB1 that was Wilson, and that was always going to happen because he was QB1. He pushed a sled, and the Steelers didn't do anything with Fields. They let him go. Now Russell Wilson goes. Is the next step, Bubba, that Rodgers is QB1?
I'm just laughing at that picture because it looks like it looks like an egg, like an egg and a bigger egg and a bigger egg. Like you go from Fields,
the Russian doll
Wilson
thing,
to Aaron Rodgers. Boom! It's the bigger egg. The bigger egg is Aaron Rodgers. I just feel that we don't know what happened behind closed doors. I also feel that Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson was not on the same page from what we all could speculate.
Yeah, I heard that.
And he went to the New York Giants. Both quarterbacks went to New York teams that have no shot going anywhere. They left for the money. The Steelers organization is better than those two organizations right now on paper and in real life. And they have a better chance of going to the playoffs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they both wanted to get out of town. So it doesn't make any sense. But also, too, if Russell would have won a playoff game, we'd be doing another video of something totally different.
That's what I'm saying. And does that mean that Wilson wanted out and he didn't want to come back to the Steelers, or was it a mutual agreement, or how's it work out?
I think it was a case of musical chairs. The music stopped and he didn't have a chair, and the last chair that was there was New York.
Right. Okay.
That's what happened. If he wanted to stay, he wanted to stay. Okay. Now his wife, on the other hand, probably thinks it's a better opportunity for her and the family in a bigger market, New York.
With
New
York, yeah.
Well, you can make it anywhere. If you can make it anywhere, New York, New York. If you can make it, that's where you make it.
Right.
Look, I think, honest to goodness, I think the way this has played out, I think to a certain degree, the Steelers have failed the quarterback position since Big Ben has left. And that is Trubisky. Then they went and signed Kenny Pickett, and they traded him away to get Justin Fields, and now he's with the Jets, and they went and tried Russell Wilson. And that's like, okay, who's next? They bring back Mason Rudolph, who could be QB1. And there's a big possibility now that the Steelers are going to sign Aaron Rodgers. We're talking in our live show, and if you haven't seen that, guys, check it out. Every Tuesday we go 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on both Steel Nation Australia and also Steelers Dynasty Podcast. You guys have a live show tomorrow. Bubba, you were talking about on the live show previously. You think that when is Aaron Rodgers going to sign? If he signs with us?
April 9th at the Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh at the PPG Arena at probably 8:35 maybe, when he either walks out pulling out a terrible towel and making his selection known. But I don't want us to pay all that money for Aaron because we have other needs that I know we're going to be talking about for all this before draft and after. And we're not focusing on them in my eyes. I just think it's too much money for him. Yes, he's a great quarterback, but also too, if he throws in the first game and he signed 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, then I guess I'm good to go. But saying it and doing it's two different things.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for it to be the whole thing to be over. It seems like a big, it's like the Ayuk situation again. I did previously say I'm not for it. I don't want it to happen, but if it does, I'll be happy. I'm happy to be proven wrong and see what happens. Shano, you've been saying for a long time on the Steelers Dynasty podcast that this would be fun. This would be very interesting. It would make everyone's lives really entertaining.
Yeah.
Do you think it happens and he comes out on Pat McAfee's show and stirs a pot and comes out wearing a Steely McBeam costume, or he's got 2 terrible towels, he's wearing Terry Bradshaw or something like that?
Hell, he'll come out with a terrible turban. He's going to start his own deal. The terrible turban. He's going to come out just like Johnny Carson. Make predictions. He's going to, if he gets you 3 more wins, your frowns are going to be upside down. You're going to be happy. It can't get any worse than what we've seen over the past year. It can only get better. We knew last year when this happened, it was a big deal. There were some moves made, stuff that was very un-black and gold.
Yep.
You never saw those type of moves. Fast forward a year. You got DK Metcalf. And then you got the GOAT. Yeah, he's an old GOAT. He's gray. He got the gray whiskers. He probably has to put a little Ben Gay on. He has to,
a lot of Ben Gay. Not a little. Probably a lot.
Ice baths, He's into walking on the beach, He's very touchy-feely, doesn't like faxes. He's a character. But guess what? I think he's gonna be a Steeler. Like it or lump it, he's gonna be wearing number 12 in Pittsburgh.
No.
That's the next big thing too. What number will you wear?
You see it?
No. That's another show right there.
Fellas. Yeah, I just want to do it. Honest to goodness, I was like, after the live, I was like, I want to figure this out. And I think it's going to happen. I really do think now that it's waiting in the wings now. Like it's going to be, they started with Justin Fields. They traded for him. Kenny Pickett said, see you later. No Trubisky. Rudolph went to the Titans. Now he's back with the Steelers. And now Russell Wilson.
So telling. That picture
100%.
is so telling. Yes. It's just, you can't even get better than that.
You can't. This would be, all around social media right now because Fields is now a Jet. Wilson is now a Giant. And Rodgers has been doing the winks and nods with Aaron Rodgers. And as much as I don't want it to happen, it will be exciting and fun to happen if it does.
Well, the problem is last year, guys, we got the quarterbacks cheaper. This year, we all cashed in, got it cheap, got a playoff, but we didn't get a victory. Yeah. Now we got to ante up more to get a quarterback that we're not going to get cheap this time. And that's the problem that I see.
Yeah, you can't have penthouse dreams with an outhouse budget. But what you don't see, what $45 million gets you is Tomlin's other hand is on the bum cheek. And that's not in the
on like this.
Like a little bubble. On there.
Maybe he's in the front. Maybe he's cupping. Hey, Aaron, I'm cupping you to get there. I don't know.
As long as he's coming to Pittsburgh.
He's coming.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that's going to be really fun, fellas. Thanks for coming on the quick episode on Steel Nation Australia. You guys doing a lot of stuff on Steelers Dynasty podcast too, and you guys are chipping away, getting near 500 subs and whatnot. It's going to be a fun draft, but we are really just waiting for Rodgers to make a decision. This could be all for nothing, and he might say, I'm going to retire, but it does feel like the all signs are pointing in that direction for the Steelers to sign Aaron Rodgers, from Fields going to Russell Wilson to Trubisky, Mason Rudolph coming back for a 2-year deal to be back up, because Jameis Winston is now back up as well in the New York Giants, unless he beats out Russell Wilson, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Wilson will be his team for 1 year. And they might go sign another quarterback too. But this has been some breaking news and some crazy news where the Steelers weren't really talking with Russell Wilson. They were just, kind of went, oh, see you later. And like Shane said, it was the last chair in the musical chairs. And
I
now
don't
it
think he
feels like
even
this is
got
the
on the
final
floor.
step.
I don't think he got on the dance floor.
No, I think it was all kind of over. It would kind of failed near the end.
They sent him a party invite, but it had a different address across the street. That's kind of what you got your invite, you know.
They didn't tell him. He didn't get the memo or the email. It didn't happen.
Get the memo.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for a little short show. This is the picture in waiting. Fields gone. Russell Wilson gone. Looks like Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not overly for it, but I'll be turned around super quick if it's a bit of fun. And if it's not a bit of fun, if there's a lot of ego and he's calling out receivers, we're going to have a crazy fucking year. It's going to be wild, dude. Like, we thought it was bad with George Pickens having a bit of an ego on the sideline. He's going to start, like, imagine him and DK Metcalf fighting or something like that.
Our podcasts are going to explode. I'm telling you what, they're going to be so insane.
Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers fighting together. I don't know.
Tears out of your terrible towels.
Yeah.
It should be good. So make sure you check out these guys too on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. And also thank you for checking out this video on Steelers Nation Australia. This looks like it's going to happen. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and possibly to Pittsburgh in the black and gold could be Aaron Rodgers.